All right, everybody, hi. Happy Friday. It's Friday, first of the month. It's March 1st. I hope everybody had a good week. I had a good week. Um, this is the last one of my little series of talks. I'm back for the last installment, and this is the last one that I'm going to be sharing before I gear up to start preparing for my March 16th seminar in Atlanta. So go ahead and share with other people. Let them know that I'm going to be talking about business today again. I've been getting a lot of emails and Facebook messages and things like that from you guys. Thank you. A lot of people are showing their appreciation for me coming on and doing this. A lot of people have some questions. So I am going to get into some of those questions later on. Last night, a lot of people got on like right at the last minute, so let them know now. Also, somebody talked about the piece of art that's behind me. Actually, that's a treadmill. Okay, so I'm in a little utility room, and that's a treadmill. It's not a piece of art. Maybe it looks like one to somebody. So tonight, I am going to focus on increasing income, specifically on home-based businesses. And I am going to read again today for two reasons, because I want to stay on topic, and number two, I'm tired. I actually worked out really hard today and ran 2 miles, and I'm tired. So I don't do well staying on task when I'm tired. So we're going to stay on task today. And then after that, we're going to do questions. I'm going to start off with one of the questions that I got earlier today, and then I am going to look at your questions over here in the interactive area. So definitely, if you have some questions, go ahead and write them. We can talk about anything that I've talked about this week or anything that you're curious about. If I know it, I'll answer. If I don't know, I'll let you know that I don't know. Okay, now. The way to create wealth is to make money faster than you spend it. To make money faster than you spend it, which is made nearly impossible with the low salaries on jobs these days, coupled with the high cost of living and the desire of a whole bunch of people to buy clothes and toys. When I mean toys, like nice cars and all that, and get a whole bunch of stuff on credit card to keep up with the Joneses or the Kardashians or whoever. I don't know who you're trying to keep up with. Most of those people are broke too. But at my seminars, I go over in detail the criteria for the best home-based business, but I'll give you some of the highlights here as I talk about the 3 things that you can do from home to make money while you're still on your full-time job. Most of the clients that I have a full-time job. I'll say maybe 60% of them. And I always encourage them to go ahead and start a home-based business so that they can start making more money than they spend, or making money faster than they spend it. The key to that, and I'm not going to get into income and expenses as far as that goes, but making sure that when the money's coming in for the business, that you reinvest it in the business, that you invest it in hard assets, and that you save it. I see too many people starting businesses and they'll go out and get a brand new Benz because they want to show out. Don't do it. Don't do it. Okay, so first business. The first business is actually a business type, which is network marketing. Many people are working 2 jobs or one that requires them to work 12-hour days. They have children and other serious obligations, and they just can't start a traditional home-based business with a product or service at this time. So the right network marketing company may be of help in that instance, because getting your friends and family and coworkers to help by buying a product may be as simple as asking. A network marketing company without a monthly fee, hear me now, without a monthly fee, and one that does not require you to buy products and store them up in your refrigerator or your garage every month in order to get paid, is something that you should be looking for, okay? It could bring in a few $100s a month to a few $1,000s a month, depending on how you work it. And one of the things that I tell people, if you work it, it will work. But when you don't have a lot of time, you have to be very selective about what you do as far as a business is concerned. Now, back to network marketing. The product needs to be something that you can get passionate about, because when you talk to people, they're gonna smell you. They want to hear, they want to feel, and they want to see your passion concerning that product or that service. So they won't be on board 100% if you're not passionate about that particular product. They're not going to budge. Another thing, another good quality of the Idea network marketing business is that it has a unique product that's not being sold in stores. I'm sorry if I offend anybody, but I couldn't do Mary Kay and Avon, because you can get the lipstick and the cologne at Walmart, you can get it at Target and all those other places, and I don't want the local grocery store nor department store to be my competition. So if the product is something unique that's not being sold in stores or not being sold by a whole bunch of other network marketing companies, then you can probably make some decent money at that. You also want repeat customers. So the product needs to be something that's really useful, usable, or something that has stored value. There are a few people that make 6 figures plus in network marketing. Most of the people that I know make between $5,000 and $15,000 a year in network marketing. So it's not going to be a big windfall for you, but that's always good to have that extra money, especially if you want to live the life of your dreams, because an extra $5,000 or $10,000 can make a whole lot of difference in somebody's life every year. Let's move on to the next one. The next one is selling products online. Now, although you don't know the person personally that may be buying the product online, there are thousands of people all over the world that purchase products online every single day. So if you have the right product, people will buy it online. One of the things that people are doing that are being really successful, they're partnering up with Amazon and eBay to sell a product online. So either you have your own product, which is the best way, but if you don't have your own product, you can find manufacturers that will sell you the product and then either just sell it straight out, or they can white label it. What white labeling means is that you put your name on a product. So it's a generic product and you have your name and your label on it. They'll put that on there and ship it straight out. It's great to find a manufacturer or a company that supplies a product that will ship it straight from wherever they are. And it's really good for a lot of people that I know of that are selling a product that they're paying, for instance, they're paying $10 a product for it, and they're able to get $25 a product. Now, it's not usually a big margin like that. It may be you're buying something for $10 and maybe selling it for $15, but a whole lot of those will make a whole lot of difference. I've taken a couple of Sell Yourself to Wealth Online classes, and I learned a lot in those classes. So if you're interested in that as being a home-based business, there's some classes out there online that you can take. But there are a lot of money. I know people personally that are making 6 figures selling things online. That's kind of hard to do when you're still working a full-time job, but you can work up to that. So let's say if you start off maybe 4 or 5 days a week in the evening selling your products online, or finding, doing the research to find out what you're going to sell online. Once you find that product and get that system in place, you don't have to be there. You could come home from work one day and have made $3,000 in that day or more. So there's a lot of front end work that you will have to do if you want to sell products online. However, it will be worth it, because it's good to come home and see in your inbox, you have, like, this is what I see. Amazon has shipped an item that you sold. And the more I see that, the better for me as far as making money online is concerned. Now, I thought about going out there and selling stuff on Amazon/eBay because I've learned that system, but It would be a little bit too much for me right now because I have my own business going on and I don't want to spread myself too thin. I do want to have leisure time and do some other things. So as long as my business is doing well, then I'll do that. And if I can get somebody like one of my children, hint, hint, to take one of those classes and get that started, then we can team up and start selling products online. My mentor sells at least $100,000 a year online. And I have one client that just started last year, and she's doing well also. She's going to be a star. So selling products online. Let's see what else I have on that. Yeah, that's it. No, so the third one is going to be a long-term business. It's going to be something that's going to take time and be not that easy for you. So this is not for somebody that really has small children right now, unless they have a lot of help. Like I know some people that they have small children, but their mother or their mother-in-law, somebody is there to help. Then they can start a business like this. And what this is actually the best business as far as I'm concerned, is becoming a subject matter expert at something that you're familiar with. Consulting, particularly in whatever area of study. So whether you're in the health industry, or you might be an engineer even, or somebody in the financial industry, if you have an expertise in that area, you can make yourself the expert. So I used to be the deduction queen when I used to do taxes, but now I'm not a financial guru. I'm the one that's out of the box and a little different from everybody else, because I'm teaching something different than what they're telling you on television. And deep down, people know that the stuff on television is not working, or else your parents would be rich, because they've been saying the same thing for over 60 years. So people resonate with things and businesses that they know deep down are there to help them or can help them. Now, if you have an expertise, then you can become that expert. If you don't have an expertise and you know a little bit about something, you can make yourself an expert. So it's going to just take a little bit of time. Now, I attended a seminar. Listen to this carefully, because this is a big hint. I attended a seminar where it was mentioned that one of the people that was talked about, he wasn't there, but he was talked about. And this was a situation that was brought up in the seminar. This person had made $1 million the year before. And this person was at a conference, and he got asked, well, how many books? He had books. How many books did you sell last year? How much money did you make in books last year? So the person said $100,000 or so. And then the little guy that asked the question said, well, okay, so your bio says you made over $1 million. So, what's that about? In other words, he was trying to call the guy a liar. So the guy just basically said, I did make about $100,000 in books. But because of the books, in other words, because the book made me a subject matter expert, I got lots of speaking engagements all over the world and was able to make $1 million. So that's a hint to let you know that even though there's a lot of front end work to be done up front, if you make yourself a subject matter expert, there's a lot of money involved in that. And writing a book, hey, look, I've written 8 books. My 8th book should be out within the next 10 days. I talked to the publisher today. They're just trying to figure out some of the color pages, or how much it's going to cost to put a few more color pages inside the book, but it'll be out pretty soon. That'll be my 8th book. And I have a system that I've put together to help people write books quickly. It doesn't even have to be a book this long. Most of my books are over 200 pages, between 200 and 220 pages. But even if you write something like a booklet on the 12 ways that you can do blank, or 7 things not to do if you're trying to blank. So there's another scenario that I heard at one of the seminars. I do go to a lot of seminars. I learn a lot. Sometimes they're free, sometimes they're not. But I always learn something in these seminars. So there was a guy that had a pool company, a swimming pool. So it was in Florida, and he would install and repair swimming pools. And he did okay. But the story that I hear is he was told, hey, why don't you do these things to increase your business? So he wrote a little pamphlet, and he went door to door with these pamphlets, giving them away and saying, hey, If you use me, that's fine. If you don't, that's fine. But make sure you read this information to make sure that if you get a pool, it's installed correctly and that it's maintenance correctly. There's some things that you do and there are some things that you don't do. And from what I understand, his business went up 100% because people, number one, appreciated the fact that he came to them and he was the owner and he dropped off this little booklet. And there was a trust built because this man had the experience and the business, and these people trusted him to fix their pools. And not only that, their friends that wanted a pool, they recommended him. So having a book or a booklet helps to make you that subject matter expert. Now, let's see what else we have here. All right. Now, think about that now. You guys, I know a lot of you out there have some things in your mind about businesses that you can start. So if you write a self-help guide or some kind of how-to guide, that's going to really help boost whatever you're trying to do when you decide to do your own home-based business. Those of you that know me know that I run like a bullet train. You know that. And I help clients do all three of these businesses at the same time. I'm not about trying to do one at a time. I do a whole bunch of things at one time. I help them revamp their lives by buying back their time from the grind. You got to get your time back. You have to recover the time that you're spending making somebody else rich. That's the first thing that you do. And then we sit down and talk about the best home-based business for them, because what's good for Sally is not necessarily good for Sue. Then when you have your outside jobs, you need to pick something that's going to fit in with your lifestyle, with your family. And those are the things we do. And then even sometimes we have to do this all while we're preparing that final business that they're going to be the expert. So it works out with some people depending on their schedule and how many children and those things. Sometimes we just have to start off with one, but if they can, I start them off with 2 and working on even maybe 3. To recap, we have 3 businesses that you can start while working a full-time job. Network marketing, but you have to have the right product, not something that's for sale everywhere. It has to be unique. Make sure that the company that you get with does not charge you a monthly fee and does not make you buy a certain dollar amount of product every month in order for you to get paid. That's not going to work. Just something that you can get into and sell and make some money. Okay. Second one, by partnering with companies like Amazon and eBay, you can sell products online. You'll have to find a manufacturer that you can deal with. A lot of times they're offshore, but you can research that. Look for these classes online about how to make money online. And then they'll give you some tips on how to find manufacturers that will ship the products over here and ship them straight to your customer after they've paid. And then the third one is your own brand, starting your own brand, starting your own business by becoming a resident expert in an area that you're knowledgeable about and passionate about. Knowledgeable about and passionate about. I can help you find that perfect business, or you can go to the library or look online. There are lots of sites. And people ask me, I've had somebody that sent me an email that had about 7 or 8 questions in it. It's like, I can't stop and answer that. Those are things that you can consult with me with, or either you can look up online. There are a lot of great resources online or in the library. I think I've seen a book called 101 Businesses That You Can Start at Home. So there are some things that you can look up and find out what you like, find out where your passion is. Okay. Anyway, our final quote for our talks is going to be from the Dr. David Jeremiah Study Bible. When I was doing my meditations this morning, I started over with Proverbs. I like to do Proverbs at the beginning of the month, each quarter. So this is 31 days in March. I do 31 days of Proverbs and do it next quarter and the next quarter. But when I was reading that, there was a great quote in there, and I want to read that. It's a perfect way to end our round of discussions. It says, skill. Skill is what separates success from failure, excellence from mediocrity, renown from anonymity. It turns chaos into order and confusion into direction. I'm a witness. This has happened in my life. I thank God for my parents that kind of led me in a direction that I could have a skill that would be marketable. What people like is for you to have something that's of value in the marketplace. So start thinking about what you have, and I know all of you have something that's valuable in the marketplace. Trick is how to make that into something that's going to make you some money and keep money coming into your pocket. If I didn't teach you anything during this week of talks, I'm hoping and praying that you got the fact that you need wisdom, translated skill, in order to live the life of your dreams. Skill doesn't come by watching sports on TV. It doesn't come by playing video games or reading romance or thriller novels. Not at all. Skill comes when you set your mind to a goal and take your mind, your hands, and your legs and start working on that goal to achieve it. Talk is cheap. I always say that. And there's some sayings that I don't say online, but I don't listen to people's talk, because when you're talking and not doing, you're just dreaming, and that's wasting time. So set your plan, get everything together, get a timeline, and get it done. I'm going back to the earlier talks where I have the questions to design your future. What do you want? Why do you want it? And what are you willing to give up to get it? So go back to that, make your plans. Now, for the final round of questions, I'm going to start out with that question that I received this morning. It started out with a gentleman asking me when I was going to come to a particular city. I get that a lot. When are you coming to Detroit? When are you coming to Dallas? When are you coming to Seattle? I get that a lot. When I responded to him that I would come to the particular city if he would help me fill the room for the seminar. I told him I needed about 50 people in the room for the seminar, and if he would help me, because it costs for me to travel, as I've stated before, about at least $1,800 for the airfare and the sleeping room and the meeting room and all that. And then he responded back respectfully, I don't care about other people. I want consulting for myself. So yeah, I do that. I've actually done it before. I will fly to a city. I will do consultation with a person on a Friday, mostly Friday during the day and the evening and Saturday. And, look at what they have and get them started. I do that. So yes, I can fly out and do personal consulting with clients. Now, let's see what other questions we have. Let me try to see if I can go over here. My pleasure. Somebody saying thank you for what I've done. Even though it's taken some time to get used to technology, I'm really pleased. I've learned it now and I can do it more often. What about affiliate programs? Is there real money in those? Yes. It's basically the same as network marketing. You're an affiliate with something and you get a percentage of it. So I've been in affiliate programs where I got 40% by bringing people on. And affiliate programs will work if it's the right product. You have to remember, though, it has to be something that people are going to want. It can't just be anything. So your question to yourself about a network marketing company or any company is, will people want to buy this? Is it something that they'll take the time to buy, and not only buy one time, but buy again? I have a friend, she's Jamaican. She's so funny. She went to a presentation and it was a product that was supposed to be a health product that was supposed to make you lose weight and all that. And so she looked at the product and took some pictures of it, and then she did some research, and she went to a Caribbean store and found a similar product with the same stuff in it. And she was so proud of herself because she says, I don't have to go and buy this stuff. I can get it from this store. And I admire her for doing that. She's very, very good with making sure that expenses are at a minimum. But you need to make sure that whatever you're going to promote is not accessible in some store somewhere. So yeah, but affiliate programs are great. Looking for more questions. Is the Atlanta booked already? No. I didn't check today. Yesterday there were, the first 20 people get free consultation. And yesterday there were 8 more spots. I don't know how many are left. But that room holds 50 people. And the last time I did a seminar here, I had 54 people registered. Just so happened that Hurricane Michael came through and some of the people couldn't make it out of the Carolinas. So we weren't overpacked, but there were 50 some odd people in that room. So it's March 16th, and a lot of people wait till the last minute. If you're planning on coming, I probably wouldn't wait till the last minute, because if people start signing up this week, and because now we're in March, then the fire marshal is not going to let me have 60 and 70 people in that room. And the hotel may have one room that's larger, but it may be booked. So please don't wait till the last minute. And you know what? It helps me when people know they're going to come, or they figure they're going to come and they register. It helps me because I serve cookies and coffee. I don't have people in a room all day and just have water. So I need to know how many dozens of cookies. I love DoubleTree cookies. That's why I picked DoubleTree. But how many dozens of DoubleTree cookies to buy, how much coffee to get, and those kinds of things. So no, it's not sold out right now, but March 16th is coming. Let's see. Do I do personal calls? Yes, consulting, defining consulting. So somebody says, I want to have a consultation or some consultations with you. So I have a 1-hour package, I have a 3-hour package, and then I have long-term, tailor-made one-on-one coaching. And those are the things that I do. I do them on telephone, I do them on Skype, and I have clients all over the world. One of my clients in England got me hooked up with WhatsApp. So now I'm kind of used to using that. But yes, I do the telephone consultations. Most of my clients aren't in Georgia, so I have to be able to do that. So I have some people in Canada, people in Panama, people in Africa, different places. So yeah, we do that. The question is, what's the best way to navigate past home business scams? I know there are a lot of them out there, but I'm a researcher. So I just do the research. I put in the business and I don't look at their website. I look at what other people have said about that particular business. The Better Business Bureau is a great way to find out if there have been complaints against that particular business, if they're registered or not. Because if they're registered, that's great. They can say we're registered with the Better Business Bureau, and 9 times out of 10, if they've registered, then they're a credible business because they don't want a bad rating. But even businesses that are not registered with the BBB, if people complain about them, the BBB will put that information up there. So basically researching what is the product that they have, and does it work? What are people saying about it? Did someone take their money and not give them the product? Those kinds of things are online. Most of the things that you're going to find out are online. Then you talk to people that are using the product, not necessarily the ones that are selling it, because the ones that are selling it are going to want you to join with them. Even if it's not network marketing, talk to people that have experienced that particular product. A lot of these services that are online talking about mailing, you get money for mailing stuff. I've never seen those make anybody any money. So just be careful. Okay, so yes, I saw this one yesterday. Will investing in real estate abroad work as a business tax deduction here? No, you don't want it to. What you want to do is you want to separate what you're doing offshore from what you're doing onshore. The United States likes to tax its citizens worldwide. So even if I was living in Timbuktu and I made money, they would want to tax that. So most of the people that I know, and the larger foundations like the Rockefellers, and the Rockefellers have about 750 offshore businesses from what I understand. You keep them offshore and you keep the money that they earn offshore. So if you have a Panamanian company, for example, you're making money in Panama, you pay tax on that. That company pays tax on the money that the company makes in Panama. You don't own that company. You might manage the company. And if they give you a salary, then the United States is expecting a tax on that. But if you don't get a salary, if it didn't make money, or if the money goes elsewhere, then you're not obligated to pay tax on, because the citizen is you, and you didn't necessarily make any money. So keep them separate. And it's not a deduction. If you buy property or if you buy a business, you take your personal money that you've made and you go and you do something offshore with it. And if it develops into a business, then, you know, it may pay you back, and there's a lot to go with that. But no, you don't want to mix offshore and onshore. You don't want that. One thing you can do if you need to is your offshore business can have a management agreement with your onshore business, because millions of dollars changes hands Monday through Friday every day offshore. Oh yeah, there's another one. Ripoff Report is a way to check, but it's not always accurate, because I've seen when people have a bad experience with a business, it doesn't necessarily mean that that business is bad or is a scam. It means that there's a dispute, and I've seen some businesses on Ripoff Report that the person had an issue. They didn't do what they were supposed to do. They didn't hold up their part of the bargain, but they expected the company to go ahead and hold up their part of the bargain. And when they didn't, they put them on Ripoff Report. So just be careful about trusting everything that you see on a Ripoff Report like that, because sometimes the people, they could be disgruntled employees. I've heard of that. A company fires somebody, and then the employee go and put some stuff on Ripoff Report. So just be careful with that. People that want to have consulting, I have some packages. Like I said, the 1 hour package, the 3 hour package, long-term packages. If you want to know about those, you can email me, sherrypeeljackson@gmail.com, and ask me about the packages that I have for consulting. Hi, Vicki. Okay, so I don't see any more questions. I'll wait just like a second. I'm going back to the top and make sure that I didn't miss anybody. So if you have a question, go ahead. Hi, Jennifer from Detroit. I may come up there this summer to visit my relatives, but I'm not coming up there in the winter anymore if I can help it, because they laugh at me when I fall in the snow, and they laugh at the way I talk. Let's see if I have any more. Looks like I have 2 more that just popped up. Yes, there are such things as shelf corporations. I've seen that used successfully. I have not gotten deep into corporations and where to set them up, but that is an option for those that have businesses that are ready to go to the next level. None of my businesses are registered in Georgia. Hint, hint. Okay, so yes, shelf corporations, if set up properly, they work. I have people. And one of the states is Nevada. Are countries usually happy selling land to U.S. citizens? Depends on where you are. In developing countries, if you'd like to buy land, they are pretty much, a lot of these people have never seen $10,000, let alone $60,000. So somebody's got a whole bunch of land. Let's say if they inherited some land and it's been in their family forever, and the children are leaving and they don't want to stay there to farm it or do whatever, then the owner may want to sell off part of it. And even if they sell off, 2 or 3 or 5 acres, and the pricing is, let's say, $50,000, they've never seen anything like that. They in a heartbeat, they'll do it in a heartbeat. So yes, most of the time it's not hard to get land. However, you have to do research. You have to know that country. There are countries that I was invited to invest in maybe 5 years ago, and now they're in turmoil. I want to make sure that I research all of the areas. The CIA, believe it or not, has a dossier on each country. And when you key in a country online, scroll down and look for the CIA's report on that country, because stability in a country is very important. I have people that I know personally that were born in other countries. Their families were wealthy, and then there was a coup, an uprising, and they had to get out of the country, and they couldn't take the money out of their banks. And so you just have to be careful. There are countries out there that have longevity. They've had stable governments. Some of them have a seat on the UN Council, which for some reason makes a difference a lot of times. Stability in a country is very important. Before I put money into any country, I will make sure that it's stable and has been there. The economy is good. Their banking system has to be good. I don't want to put money in a bank and it poofs, disappears, and they don't have the record for it. So yeah, but it's pretty much something that needs to be done, something that's your preference, where you want to go and what you want to do with the property. Is it for investment purposes? Is it for you to retire? Those kinds of things. But it's great having property in another place, because as I stated yesterday, when the excrement hits the portable cooling device in the United States of America, those that have land in other places will have a place to go. My pleasure, my pleasure. Do U.S. citizens have to pay penalties? Let me see if I missed something. No. Sometimes the real estate rules are different. So in our country, when you put a contract on a property and you put down a earnest money, let's say if you put $2,000 earnest money on a property, it's $100,000. They accept that $2,000, then the closing process happens. In some countries, they can take your $2,000, and then if somebody else comes along and offers them $150,000 on that property, then they'll sell that property to them. You may get your $2,000 back, but they're going to go with that other person. I know people that have been in the process of moving and come to find out that their property was sold from up under them to a higher bidder, and they had to scramble and find another property because they had already packed up and sold their house. So you have to investigate the rules concerning buying real estate, specifically for housing. If it's just raw land, that's a little bit different. But if you're planning on moving or planning on buying a property in another country, check out their rules concerning how they operate with the real estate. This is an interesting question. What's the main topic you talk about at your seminar that will benefit most people? I try to talk about everything. I talk about debt reduction, tax reduction, getting rid of the taxes, starting businesses, growing wealth, all those things. All those things are beneficial to anybody. Even a wealthy person is going to want to know how to reduce taxes or how to expand the business without paying more taxes. So all the topics, I have like 4 segments in these seminars. And we go for a couple of hours, we go to lunch, come back and go for another couple of hours and then talk. And then some people that want to stay around later, we go out to dinner and talk more. Argentina, Venezuela, a whole bunch of problems going on, especially Venezuela. I don't know what in the world is going on there, but I got a report that the people are so hungry that they have been stealing the animals out of the zoo and eating them. That is horrific. Look it up. I saw it. They're stealing animals out of the zoo and eating them. What are some good countries for investment? I'm not really want to get into that, but there are countries over in the Asian countries, basically the up and coming countries that are trying to get their economies up. They make it easy for people to come over and start businesses. Some of them even give you money to start a business. So those are things that you'd have to research on your own, or get me to research for you if you want to be one of the clients. Okay, guys, I think that was the last question. I enjoyed it. I'll try to come on maybe once a month now, but really and truly, if you do anything, go ahead and start increasing your income by starting a home-based business and get all the deductions, because the Trump administration has an extra 20% deduction for those that have businesses. And I'm looking forward to taking part in that because I don't want to pay a lot of taxes. Yes, thank you guys. Thank you so much. Tell everybody about the seminar. If you know people in Atlanta, please get them that information so that we can help a lot of people, because people bring their families and people can spread this to their families, and nobody needs to be poor and broke. This country looks like it's going the way of having the rich and the poor and no middle class. My dad told me that when I was about 14 years old. I see it happening. You don't want to be the one that slides down into the poor category. You want to be in the rich category. So with that said, good night, everybody. Have a great weekend. Start thinking about what I said. Start making up plans to have your home-based business. If you already have one, start getting plans together to grow it. Start thinking about writing that book. Let's do it. No excuses. Have a great day.